around camping. The cold months have felt like they are definitely a lot longer than usual this season, and it has made for things to be quite difficult for us to get out as much as I'd wanted. I've been trying to be grateful for the small moments in between the rains, but I'm at my peak season at work, so on my days off I need rest as well as trying to jam and study, homeschooling, and getting the garden up to peak production for the coming season. So I'm basically burning the candle at both ends, and I've done nothing but crave to be out in nature and sleep under the stars and hear the creek lull me to sleep. After coming out here, I realised that the boys were craving this too, and it was actually really nice for us just to shut down and just be out in nature and try and find our own ways to keep ourselves occupied. It was even more special to be able to bring the Frenchies with us this time. I add a lot of stress onto myself sometimes because I'm known as that person who's always outdoors and in nature, and unfortunately because of all those factors I haven't been able to do so. Taking a step back from social media has actually saved my mental health a lot because at the same time I don't feel like I have to do things for others and I'm just doing them for me. Since this is the first time I finally got to use my tent since I brought it last season, I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a review. So this is the MSR Hubba 3-man tent. It is a 3-season tent and it is really awesome. It is lightweight and it's really easy to set up. The only thing that I could fault it on is I felt that the floor mat was a little bit smaller than the actual tent itself, but that's just nitpicking if it was me. We had such an awesome sleep. We were nice and cozy and warm and had heaps of room. And if you have big packs and you're actually sharing this with more people, obviously the kids are a lot smaller, there is enough room in the vegetables to have your pack outside of the tent, but we were able to sleep with them inside the tent. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Absolutely love having this tent.
Well, what are you eating? Oh, you're eating grass.
I recently brought a Dutch oven that was an impulse buy because I really wanted to start making things on the campfire. So I dragged that Dutch oven all the way into the bush, which was really incredibly heavy, and decided to make some bread. So first up, I heated up some water on my Fire Maple titanium lightweight cooker, and I mixed my pre-mixed dough up in a container and put the lid on and let it rise under the sun. I then lit the fire and got to the Dutch oven on the fire to help heat it up. And unfortunately, I didn't have a shovel, and I didn't actually think about this at the time, but you kind of need something to shovel the embers onto the top of the Dutch oven as well as underneath, so then the bread rises and cooks at the same time evenly. But lesson learned, and actually was pleasantly surprised how well it worked out, even though we burnt the bottom of it because I shouldn't have had it directly on the fire, but it still tasted pretty good. Some butter.
It tastes like what it smells like.
Does it taste okay?
It's not that bad.
Yum.
That one? Pinkies.
After the sun went down, we sat around the campfire and roasted some marshmallows, and then the boys decided they wanted to go to bed quite early, and so I was able to sit up and enjoy some peace and quiet under the stars by myself. I eventually went to bed around 9:30 and ended up having one of the best sleeps that I've had in quite a long time. I had the Frenchies as personal little hot water bottles in my sleeping bag. It was just what I was needing, and thankfully it worked out the way that it did, as it was forecast to rain that afternoon for another week or so. So yeah, make the most of these awesome moments that we had.
Let's go.
So after our breakfast, we packed up our campsite and started making our way back home. One of the biggest rules we follow while wild camping is make sure you clean up after yourself and leave no trace. Take out what you take in and definitely respect the area. We were really privileged to be shown this place by a local hunter a few years ago, and it's been a favourite of ours to come and camp. And thankfully, every time we visit, it's always in its same natural state.